Hey there, loves. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. I have always loved the way a moss bowl looks in a space, so I thought I would go ahead and attempt making my own because this channel is all about the luxe look for less and ways that we can accomplish a very expensive look without breaking the bank. So let's get into this project. I've had this bowl for a while, for over a year, I think, but I bought it from Poco when we went shopping, and I just wanted a bowl to jazz up the front area or the entryway of my home. And I loved the way this looked during the Christmas time because it had, all of the pine cones and acorns and whatnot inside it. But Christmas has passed and it's now spring and we're going into summer. And I just thought maybe I can refresh this bowl and give it a different look. Of course, use any bowl of any size of your choice, but I had this one on hand and I didn't have to spend any money to go ahead and purchase a bowl, so I decided to use this. This is just a regular fruit bowl, so it was very inexpensive. I think it cost maybe €9, if that much. So I'm just going to be using my black paint that I always had inside my house. Once again, we always had this. It's not breaking the bank. We're not spending any money. So I went ahead and gave this bowl 2 coats of the black paint, and I loved the way it looked, but I just felt that it looked a little too shiny. So I decided to go ahead and create a chalk paint or a chalk paste to cover up some of that shine and to also give the bowl a little bit of character and a little bit of texture. There's no exact measurement on how I created my chalk paste or my chalk paint. All I did was added some paint and a spoonful of flour. Now, other persons use baking soda and baking powder, and some persons even use dirt. But I decided to use flour because I used flour in a previous project. If you guys didn't watch that, when I was making over my entryway before, I did a large vase that I got from my mother-in-law. I did that over and I used flour inside the paint to create that chalk paint. So I'm going to do the same thing here. And I really wanted to get rid of the shine on this bowl as well. Even though it really looks nice, I didn't like that shine. It just needed a little bit more character for me. So I decided to go with the chalk paint. After the bowl was completely dry on the inside, I left it for about 3 hours to make sure the inside was completely dry because adding the flour to the paint made it take a little longer to dry. So I left it just to make sure for an extra hour because this paint usually takes 2 hours to dry. I left it for an extra hour just to make sure that the paint was completely dry. And then, of course, I turned it over and I did the exact same thing to the other side. I left the bowl overnight to dry completely just so I have no issues with the paint chipping at all. And as you guys can see, it is nice and matted and not glossy anymore. This is the look that I was going for. I'm going to be using the moss that I bought from Kicks. And remember, if you guys watched my last patio haul, this was one of the items included inside it. And I bought each pack for €1 a piece. To make my bowl a lot fuller, instead of just packing it with the grass or the moss, I decided to go ahead and put down some newspaper instead and then place my moss on top so I could use the minimum amount of moss possible. I literally only needed 1 pack of the moss, but I used a little over one just so that it would look nice and flush and full. And I would be covering all of the newspaper because I didn't want any of the newspaper showing at all. We have reached the end of today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I love the way this moss bowl makes my entryway look. It looks so expensive, but literally cost us only €2 to create. Let me know down below, what are you guys creating on a budget? If you're creating any DIY projects that look very luxe but are very inexpensive to add to your home. If you have not subscribed yet to my channel, please do consider subscribing. I would definitely appreciate it very much. And I will see you guys in my next video. So until then, choose.